Hey, I'm Jim Dudley, and welcome back to Policing Matters. And in this special series on mental health and well-being for law enforcement officers, let's talk about proactive wellness with Dr. David Black. How can we do a self-assessment? Can we do a self-assessment of how well we're doing? And if so, how do we do it?
Thanks, Jim. That's a real important question. In the Cordico app, if you're not familiar with the Cordico app, go to www.cordico.com, CORDICO.com. You'll also find out about it on Police One if you click into the Officer Wellness section there. In the Cordico app, we have all kinds of self-assessments. So you can take a self-assessment and see, do you suffer from depression? Do you suffer from post-traumatic stress? Do you have an anger problem? Do you have sleep issues? How's your resilience looking? You can self-assess on these things anonymously. Then you can get feedback on how serious is your issue, and then what should you do about it. Here's an exciting thing. We all love policeone.com. What we're going to start doing is posting our self-assessments from time to time on policeone.com, existing self-assessments and new self-assessments that are brand new, so that we can collect data, anonymous data from policeone.com visitors who are in the profession, and help norm and update norms for our self-assessments. So you'll be able to take some of these from time to time for free through Police One and get feedback. Beyond that, monitor yourself, right? Self-assessment can be an ongoing personal process. Examine your emotions, right? Examine your relationship, your closest relationships. How are you treating others? How are you treating yourself? Very important question to ask. How am I coping with stress? If you are in the law enforcement profession, if you're police, you are under stress. Make no mistake about it. You're super tough, you're super resilient, but you are under stress. So ask yourself, how are you coping? How are you responding to that? Because we all have different patterns, different ways we respond to stress. And here's the thing about it. Those patterns of how we each individually respond to stress, they're like fingerprints. They're very unique, very distinct to us. They tend to develop in our childhood and our teenage years. They're built into our optic, meaning they're built into how we see the world. So we often don't see, oh, I pull back from other people under stress, or I get a little more angry and aggressive under stress, or I get anxious and start saying no to everything under stress. But when you start to see and analyze those patterns in ourselves, you're really setting yourself apart in terms of your self-awareness, your self-understanding, your emotional intelligence. We tend to be adept at seeing this in other people because it's on full display when they're under stress. But we tend not to see this in ourselves because it's built into our optic until we turn that back around on ourselves and really self-assess. And when it comes to when do you ask for help? Ask for help as soon as possible. Yeah, I get it. It's super hard to do. It's very counterintuitive for most law enforcement to want to raise their hand and say, I need some help. But you know what? You're human and you got your limits, and it's a sign of strength. It's a sign of resilience. It's a sign of toughness to be able to raise your hand when you need some help and be there. And that's what teamwork's all about. Just like physical damage, the impacts of stress and trauma are best dealt with earlier than later. But that being said, and this point is critical, it is never too late to ask for help. So, reach out to peer support, reach out to a law enforcement chaplain, reach out to a culturally competent law enforcement therapist or a trusted confidant. They are there to help you. Right? There are so many people that so deeply respect and appreciate everything you do to serve and protect, and they get it. They understand how tough, how oftentimes impossible this job is, and we're all here to support each other. So please prioritize your wellness throughout your career. We need you at your best, and you deserve it. You 100% deserve to be supported.
Well, sage words and advice. Thank you so much, Dr. David Black. Well, I hope you've been enjoying this segment, this mini cast on health and wellness for first responders. Listen to all 6 with Dr. David Black, founder of Cordico, and Mandy Nice, also of Cordico. She is the Cordico Strategic Wellness Director, and you can't miss these episodes. Listen to them one at a time or all at once. And thanks for listening. I'm Jim Dudley.